Hello students, in last class we already discussed about Bohr magneton, that means how a moving electron in an circular orbit behaves as a magnetic dipole, clear, and studied about what is gyromagnetic ratio, clear. So today we are going to discuss how a current carrying conductor which is placed in an external magnetic field experienced a force due to the external magnetic field, clear. So just see, here is a conductor, okay, this is a conductor which is fixed at both ends, and this is loosely wound, and here is a certain region which have a magnetic field strength in this region into the plane. Okay, here the magnetic field strength is B naught, and this is the current carrying, this is a conductor. Here I equal to 0, current flowing through this conductor is 0. So when there is no current flowing through this conductor and if there is a certain region having magnetic field strength B naught in which the direction is into the plane, there will be no effect on this conductor. But if the same conductor is here, and in this region the magnetic field is into the plane, B naught be the strength, and current I is flowing along this direction. So as current I flowing this direction and this certain region is in a magnetic field strength in which the direction of magnetic field is into the plane, it was observed that the conductor gets bent sidewise like this. The shape of the conductor becomes like this. Okay, that means as the magnetic field is into the plane, current is flowing along upward direction, it will experience a force in this direction. So the conductor gets bent. And if similarly, if in third case we change the direction of current, the same conductor is here, and with the current along it is flowing like this, and here is the region of magnetic field strength B naught. So as the current is moving downward and current is magnetic field is into the plane, it was observed that within the magnetic region the conductor bend like this. That means it's experience a force sidewise along this direction. Clear? So it was observed by this experiment that when a conductor is placed in a magnetic field and it carries no current, there will no effect on the conductor. But when the conductor carries certain amount of current and it is placed in an external magnetic field, so the current gets bent sidewise, that means it experiences a force sideways. And if we change the direction of the current flowing in the conductor, then the sideways force direction also gets changed. Clear? And similarly, if we also the same case, here there is the same current carrying conductor, it carries current in downward direction, but we here change the direction of magnetic field. Now the magnetic field is out of the plane. So now it was observed that as the direction of magnetic field gets changed, now it was observed that the current carrying conductor bends like this. It will experience a force in opposite direction as that of this case. So it was also observed that if we change the direction of magnetic field, keeping the direction of current constant, the force experienced by the conductor will be changed. Clear? So from these experiments, or in these 4 cases, we conclude that when a current carrying conductor is placed in an external magnetic field, it will experience a sideways force. Clear? Why the conductor experiences a force when it is placed in an external magnetic field? So why the current carrying conductor experiences a force? Just consider one condition from this experiment. So here in this case, the current in the conductor moves along upward direction, that is I, and here is a certain region in which external magnetic field strength of B0 is present, which is acting inward, due to which the current carrying conductor experiences a force towards left. That's why it gets bent along the direction of left hand side. Clear? So if we zoom into this region, so just zoom in this portion of the current carrying conductor, it will be like this. Here is the current carrying conductor and it is placed in an external magnetic field which is acting inward. Okay, B0, and current along this conductor is flows in this direction, I, upward like this. We have to zoom in this region and the total length of this portion of the conductor, let be L. Okay, as this is a current carrying conductor and current along this conductor flowing towards upward direction, so we know in a conductor as current flows, it will carry a large number of free electrons. So there are a large number of free electrons present over here. Okay, and all the electrons are moving or drifting with a particular speed or velocity, that is known as drift velocity, along the opposite direction of that's the direction of the current flow. If current is flowing in upward direction, then all the free electrons are drifting in downward direction, that is to the opposite direction of the flow of current with drift velocity Vd. Clear? So just consider a single electron. Okay, so as we already know, a charge is moving with a velocity in an external magnetic field. It experiences a force which is given by the magnetic force Fm equal to Q into V cross B. We already know about this. When a charge is moving in an external magnetic field with velocity V, it will experience a force which is equal to this much. So in this case, just consider a single electron which is moving with drift velocity in the opposite direction of that of current flowing in the current carrying conductor. So what will be the force acting on this single electron? So we can write here the force acting on the single electron F m equal to the charge of the electron minus E into its moving with velocity which is known as the drift velocity into the external magnetic field strength B0. Let it be equation 1. Clear? So this is the force experienced by a single electron which is moving with a velocity equal to drift velocity in the opposite direction that of flow of current inside the current carrying conductor, which is placed in an external magnetic field of strength B0. So if a single electron is moving, which will experience a force along which direction? By using right hand palm rule. If the direction of velocity of the electron is downward, so I am putting my thumb along the direction of velocity downward, and here the magnetic field strength is into the plane, so I am stretching my finger into the plane. So the direction of force experienced by these electrons will be like this. Okay, this is the direction of electron, those are moving along this direction into downward direction, and the magnetic field is into the plane. So the electrons is a negative charge, so it will experience a force opposite to that of the palm. If it is a positive charge, it will experience a force along the direction of palm. As here it is a negative sign, so it will experience a force opposite to that of the palm direction, so it will experience a force towards this, as the direction of palm shows the force acting on electron, and due to negative sign it will get reversed, so the force will experience by a single electron sideways along this, which is defined by Fm equal to minus E into Vd cross B. This is because of one single electron. So the net force acting sideways on the complete conductor of length L is how much? If this is the force acting on the conductor's wall due to a single electron, because this is the force which is experienced by the electron, and the electron due to this force want to move along this direction, but it cannot release from the current carrying conductor. That's why the force which is acting on the electron is transmitted to the wall of the current carrying conductor. That's why the current carrying conductor gets bent. So this is much is the force Fm due to a single electron, but here there are large number of electrons which are experiencing the same amount of force along the same direction. So the net force experienced by the length L of the current carrying conductor will be how much? The force experienced by a single electron into the total number of free electrons present over there. Clear? If in this case, if the electron density of the current carrying conductor is L. What is electron density? The number of free electrons present per unit volume of the current carrying conductor is N. If N number of electrons are present per unit volume of the current carrying conductor, so in length L, what is the total amount of electron present? If here the cross sectional area of conductor is A, okay, and the length of this segment is L, cross sectional area is A, this is a uniform current carrying conductor, so throughout the length the cross sectional area will remain same. So the cross sectional area of the conductor is A, its length is L. So what is the volume of this segment? Volume equal to area into length, that is AL. Clear? So the number of electrons present in this current carrying conductor is N. That means N number of electrons are present per unit length, unit volume. This is the total volume of this much length of the current carrying conductor. So what is the total number of electrons present over there? So total number of electrons is equal to electron density, number of electrons per unit volume, into volume AL. Clear? So this is the total number of electron, which can be written as capital N. Clear? So in this particular segment of length L, the total number of free electron is capital N, which is equal to NaL. N is the charge density or electron density of the current carrying conductor, A is the cross sectional area, and L is the length of this segment. Clear? And this is the force experienced by a single electron, and this is the total number of electrons present over here. So what is the net magnetic force acting on the current carrying conductor? So in this length of L of current carrying conductor, the magnetic force Fm net equal to how much? Single electron carrying force into total number of electrons. Clear? This is the net magnetic force experienced by this current carrying conductor, because this is the force due to a single charge or electron, and this is the total number of electron. All the electrons have experienced same amount of magnetic force along the same direction. That's why we can multiply it. So it will become how much? Minus N A L E V D cross B equal to Fm net. Clear? Let it be equation 2. Okay, so this is the net sideways force which is experienced by this current carrying conductor, and due to which it gets bent along this direction. Clear? So in this expression we can consider a vector quantity that is AL vector. Okay, let's consider a vector quantity AL vector which have magnitude same as that of length of the current carrying conductor and direction is along the direction of current flowing in the conductor. That is, if it is L is, we are considering a vector quantity L which have magnitude same as that of length of the current carrying conductor, and direction is along the direction of current flowing in the conductor. That is, if this is the current flowing along this direction, so we are considering a vector quantity L which have magnitude as the length equal to length of the current carrying conductor, and its direction is along the direction of current. That means it is opposite to the direction of drift velocity. That is opposite to the direction of drift velocity. So L is such a vector quantity which have magnitude same as that of length of the current carrying conductor, and direction is opposite to that of drift velocity. So the vector quantity this much minus NALE VD vector. So this vector quantity can be written as, I am writing here, so the vector quantity minus NALE VD vector can be written as how much? In place of VD vector I can write another vector quantity NAE VD into L vector. So L vector is a vector which have magnitude same as that of length of the current carrying conductor, and the direction is opposite to the direction of VD vector. So in place of VD vector, if I am writing minus L vector which have the magnitude as that of length of the current carrying conductor and direction is opposite to drift velocity, so the minus sign will be cancelled out. So I can write the vector quantity minus NaLeVd vector will be equal to NaEVdL vector. Let this be equation 3. So now using equation 3 in 2, we will get what? The F net is equal to how much? In place of minus NaLeVd vector, I am writing NaEVdL vector equal to how much? NaEVdL vector cross B naught vector. This much can be written as this. Clear? Okay. And just remind one thing, we already studied in current electricity, in the current flowing in a current carrying conductor can be written as in form of drift velocity, which is equal to NaEVd. What is E? Charge of an electron. A is the cross sectional area of the conductor, N is the charge density of the conductor, and Vd is the drift velocity with which the electrons are drifting. And this is the expression for current flowing through the conductor. So if I am replacing this term with I, so the complete expression will become how much? This implies the net magnetic force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in an uniform magnetic field is I into L cross B vector. Okay, so this is the expression for, let it be equation 4. This is the expression for net magnetic force experienced by a current carrying conductor which is placed in an uniform external magnetic field, where I is the current flowing through the current carrying conductor, L is the displacement vector or length vector of the length element of the current carrying conductor, and B naught is the magnetic field strength of the external magnetic field. Okay, so this is in vector form. So if we are writing it in scalar form, the magnitude of Fm vector will be how much? I L B sin theta. Okay, where theta equal to angle between L vector and B vector. Okay, let it be not. Clear? Where theta is angle between the length vector of the current carrying conductor and the magnetic field strength. Clear? So this is the force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in an external magnetic field. Clear? So now let's discuss some cases. If the angle between L vector and B vector is 0, that means the magnetic field strength is along this direction B naught, and the current carrying conductor is placed here. Of length L, and current along this is flowing in this direction I, and this is the direction of L. So here the magnetic force Fm equal to how much? I L B naught sin theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between direction of magnetic field and current carrying conductor length. So this is the length vector, and this is the direction of current carrying magnetic field strength. So the angle between these two L and B is 0. So it can be written as I L B naught sin 0, which is equal to how much? 0. So when a current carrying conductor is placed along the magnetic field, it will experience, the length of the current carrying conductor is placed along the direction of magnetic field, it will experience 0 force. Similarly, okay, if the current carrying conductor is placed normally to the direction of magnetic field, this is the direction of magnetic field, and the current carrying conductor is placed like this, and the current is flowing along this direction. This is the length I, the length is L, and the magnetic field is B naught. So here in this case, the magnetic field strength Fm is equal to how much? IL B naught sin theta, and here the theta, the direction of length vector and magnetic field is 90. So it will become how much? IL B naught sin 90. What is the value of sin 90? 1. So the force will be ILB. So the magnetic force experienced by a current carrying conductor is maximum when the direction of length vector and magnetic field strength are perpendicular to each other. Clear? So now let us discuss about when there are two infinite long straight current carrying conductor are placed at a certain separation, what are the force experienced by them? Magnetic force between two long parallel infinite, the magnetic force between two long parallel infinite current carrying conductors. So now discuss what is the value of magnetic force between two long parallel infinite current carrying conductors. So first, just consider two infinitely long current carrying conductors which are parallel to each other. These two current carrying conductors are extended up to infinite, okay, and they carry current in same direction, I1, I2. Let this is the conductor 1, this is conductor 2, and separation between these two current carrying conductor is D. Clear? The separation between these two current carrying conductor is D. So 1 and 2 are two infinitely long straight current carrying conductors, okay, which are parallel to each other, and they carry current I1 and I2 in same direction, and the separation between these two current carrying conductors is D. Clear? So what is the force acting on these two current carrying conductors? So what will be the value of force acting on these two current carrying conductors? As here the heading mentioned, the magnetic force between two long parallel here you can write two infinite long parallel current carrying conductors. Okay, the magnetic force between two infinite long parallel current carrying conductors, as these are infinite length and both are parallel to each other and both carries current I1 I2 in opposite direction. We already studied that if a current carrying conductor is present and current is flowing through it, then it is able to produce a magnetic field surrounding it. That means if we are forgetting about this current carrying conductor, just now concentrate on this current carrying conductor 1. So in this current carrying conductor 1, current I1 is flowing in upward direction, so it is able to produce a magnetic field. By right hand thumb rule we can get the direction of magnetic field at this point, it's into the plane. Clear? So just consider a point of observation P, which is just over the current carrying conductor 2. So at point P, what will be the direction of magnetic field due to the current carrying conductor 1? It's B1 and its direction is into the plane. Clear? That means now we can say that the current carrying conductor 2, which carries current I2, is present in an external magnetic field of strength B1, which is acting into the plane, because as the current carrying conductor is parallel, so and the distance between the conductor 1 and 2 is d, that means each and every point on the current carrying conductor 2 will be at a distance of d from the current carrying conductor 1. That means the magnetic field strength B1 is constant at each and every point of the current carrying conductor 2. So here the long straight current carrying conductor, which is of infinite length that and carries current I2, is present in an external uniform magnetic field of strength B1, and the cause of this B1 is the current carrying conductor I1. Clear? And the current carrying conductor 2 is placed at a distance r or d from this current carrying conductor, and we know what is the value of B1. This is the magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor I1. So we already know, due to a infinitely long current carrying conductor which carries current I1, the magnetic field strength at any point at a distance d, perpendicular distance d, will be how much? The magnetic field strength produced by the current carrying conductor B1 at a distance, perpendicular distance d, as this is a infinite long straight conductor, will be how much? Mu naught current flowing through this conductor is I1 divided by 2 pi, the perpendicular distance is d. So this is the value of what? Magnetic field strength at any point P, which is placed over the current carrying conductor 2, and all the points on the current carrying conductor 2 is at the same distance from I1. So the magnetic force acting on 2 due to 1 will be how much? The magnetic force acting on 2 due to 1 will be how much? We know this is a current carrying conductor which is placed inside the magnetic field of the current carrying conductor I1, which is acting into the plane. So the current carrying conductor 2 is placed in an external magnetic field of strength B1. So the force acting on it will be current flowing through this current carrying conductor I2 into the magnetic field strength in which the current carrying conductor is placed, that is B1, into length of this current carrying conductor. So the length of this current carrying conductor is what? Infinite. So in this case we can determine the magnetic force acting on this current carrying conductor per unit length, as this is a infinitely long straight current carrying conductor. So we cannot determine the magnetic force acting on the complete length of this current carrying conductor. So we have to determine the magnetic force acting on this current carrying conductor per unit length. So this is the force per unit length L of the current carrying conductor 2 will be how much? Can be written as equal to I2 B1. What is the value of sin theta? Sin theta is the angle between magnetic field strength and the length vector. Length vector is along the direction of current and magnetic field is into the plane. So the angle between this is along this surface and the magnetic field is into the plane. So angle will be 90. Sin 90 will be 1. So the magnetic force acting on conductor 2 due to 1 per unit length is how much? I2 into B1. So this implies we can write force acting on 2 due to 1 per unit length of the current carrying conductor will be, what is the value of I2? Is I2, what is the value of B1? It is mu naught I1 divided by 2 pi d. So this implies the force acting on conductor 2 due to 1 per unit length. As this is a infinitely long straight conductor, we have to find out the force acting on it per unit length is equal to mu naught divided by 2 pi d into I1 I2. Clear? Okay. And what is the direction of magnetic force? By using right hand palm rule, place the thumb along the direction of current flowing through it upward and stretch the finger towards the magnetic field strength that is inward. The direction of palm will shows the force that is along this direction. Force on 2 due to 1, or by Fleming's left hand rule, if I am placing the first finger which shows the magnetic field strength like this, and the middle finger which shows the direction of current which is upward like this. Then the direction of thumb will shows the force here. Clear? Okay, so this is the force, magnetic force acting on current carrying conductor 2 due to the current carrying conductor 1 per unit length of the current carrying conductor 2 is this one. Let it be equation 1. Clear? And its direction is towards left. Similarly, we can calculate the force acting on current carrying conductor 1 due to current carrying conductor 2, because as I2 is flowing through this current carrying conductor, so it also produces a magnetic field surrounding it. And now we have to consider a point of observation P dash on the current carrying conductor 1, which is at the distance of D from the current carrying conductor 2. And at this point, what will be the value of magnetic field strength? As the current is flowing into along upward direction, so it will produce a magnetic field like this in clockwise sense, sorry, anti-clockwise sense. So at point P, the magnetic field direction will be out of the plane, because I am crawling my figure. So at this point it will be out of the plane. And what is the strength of magnetic field at the point P dash? As it is a infinitely long straight current carrying conductor, and the point of observation P dash is at a distance, perpendicular distance D from this current carrying conductor. So the magnitude of the magnetic field strength at P1, which is because of current carrying conductor 2, is given as B2 equal to how much? Mu naught. Current flowing through this current carrying conductor is I2 divided by 2 pi into perpendicular distance D. So this is the expression for magnetic field strength at P dash. And as this is a parallel current carrying conductor, so each and every point on this current carrying conductor will be at same distance from the second current carrying conductor, and the magnetic field strength will be same. So the complete long straight current carrying conductor of infinite length, that is I1, is present in a uniform magnetic field of strength this V2, which is acting out of the plane. So what will be the magnetic force acting on this current carrying conductor? By using same formula, the force acting on the current carrying conductor 1 because of 2 will be how much? I, current flowing through this, the current carrying conductor 1, into the magnetic field strength at this place, that is the magnetic field due to the field of B1, sorry, current carrying conductor 2, that is B2, into sin theta. What is theta? The length is along the current carrying conductor, current flowing through the current carrying conductor, and magnetic field is upward, so angle is 90, so sin 90 will be 1. And as this is a infinite long straight, so we have to find out the magnetic force per unit length of the current carrying conductor. So this implies we can write the force acting on 1 due to 2 per unit length will be I1 into what is the value of B2, mu naught I2 divided by 2 pi D. By rearranging this, we will get force on 1 due to 2 per unit length will be mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi D. Let it be equation 2. So from 1 and 2 we get what? The magnetic force per unit length on conductor 2 due to 1 is same as that of the magnetic force per unit length on conductor 1 due to 2. This is conductor 2 due to 1, this is conductor 1 due to 2, both are same. And its direction will be how much? By using right hand palm rule, the magnetic field strength is out of the plane, current is flowing upward, so palm will be along this direction, so the force acting on it will be like this, force on 1 due to 2. So the force on 2 due to 1 and force on 1 due to 2 both are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. That means when current flowing through the conductor are in same direction, they will attract each other. So here we can write, this is the expression for force, and we can write when current flowing through the conductors are in same direction, they attract each other. Okay, if the current flowing through the conductor are in same direction, they will attract each other. Okay, next, if the current are in opposite direction, they will repel each other. Okay, you have to remember this. Current flowing same direction attract, current in opposite direction repel. Okay, if current in opposite direction, just assume here current is flowing downward and here current is outward. So for this current carrying conductor, what will be the direction of force? The magnitude of force will remain same per unit length, this much, but the direction as current is flowing downward, I am putting the thumb in downward, and here the magnetic field is inward like this. Clear? So here the force will be act along this direction, and at this place current is flowing upward and the magnetic field strength will be as current is flowing downward. So at this place the direction of magnetic field will be into the plane, cross. So what is the direction of force? Current is flowing upward, magnetic field strength is inward, the force acting on it will be along this direction. So these two forces will become repulsive. Clear? So when current flows in same direction, they will attract each other, but when current flows in opposite direction or anti-parallelly, they will repel each other. So you have to remember this condition, and this is how there will be a magnetic force acting on two parallelly long straight current carrying conductors, and these are the magnitude of the force which will be calculated per unit length. If they have some finite length, then we can multiply this length over there. Clear? As these are infinite length, so we have to calculate the force acting on each of the conductor due to other one per unit length. Clear? Okay. Okay. So this is the expression for force acting on current carrying conductor 2 due to 1, and this is the expression for force acting on the current carrying conductor 1 due to 2, and these forces are per unit length. So in place of L we can write 1, here in place of L we can write 1, force per unit length of the current carrying conductor. So as the lengths are infinite, so we cannot determine the force for complete length, so we have to determine the force acting on the current carrying conductor per unit length. So in place of length we can put 1, so in place of L we can directly write force per length, that is force per unit length, or in place of L you can write 1 and here we can write 1. So the force acting per the current carrying conductor 1 per unit length, that is per length, is this much, and here the force acting on current carrying conductor 1 due to 2 per length is this much. Okay, as these are infinitely long straight conductor, in place of L we have to write down 1 because we have to find out the magnetic field strength, magnetic force acting on the current carrying conductor per unit length. So here I can write another point. As the current carrying conductors are of infinite length, so we have to calculate the magnetic force per unit length of the current carrying conductor. Okay, so force on 1 due to 2, force on 2 due to 1 can be written as mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi d per unit length, and force on 1 due to 2 will be same mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi d per unit length. Clear? If they are of finite length, so we have to multiply the value of length here, as here the length will become 1 because we have to calculate the force per unit length. So if the L will become 1, so this will become F21. If here the length will become 1, this will be force 1, 2. If they have some finite length, then we can write the L here, or we can multiply the L in the right hand side. Okay, or in generally we have to find out what the magnetic field strength per unit, the magnetic force acting on the current carrying conductor per unit length, as they are of infinite lengths. Clear? So this is about how the magnetic force acting between two infinitely long straight current carrying conductors which are placed parallelly to each other. If the direction of current flowing through both the conductor is same, the force will be attractive, or both the conductors will come close towards each other. If the current flowing both the conductor will be in opposite direction, they will repel each other, or they start to move away from each other. Clear? Okay.